All right, y'all. So today I have a great episode for you on the number one killer SEO mistake that I see podcasters and YouTubers making with their website SEO. Because if you have a podcast or a YouTube channel, I'm sure that you're trying to repurpose and work smarter, not harder. And you should be. But way too often, aka most of the time, I see podcasters or YouTubers making this same huge mistake with their website SEO, and it's absolutely shooting themselves in the foot with their website traffic and their website SEO. So listen in, I'm going to tell you about the mistake, and then I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And it's a pretty darn easy fix. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. All right, y'all. So although podcasting, SEO is a major part of podcasting and YouTube success, this episode is not about podcast SEO or YouTube SEO. This episode is about your website SEO and how you as a podcaster or YouTube need to fix this one simple but major thing so that your website can start getting you traffic and getting you leads in addition to your podcast or YouTube strategy. Okay, so backstory, y'all. A while back, I had a client, and I've had several clients that have made this same mistake, but I had a client who had a thriving podcast, great business, but she was just making this mistake in her repurposing strategy. And we sat down to do a consultation, and I was just telling her like, hey, you've got all these things you need to fix, and BT dubs, this is a really huge one. And I just remember our conversation after, around this issue, and she was just blown away because she thought that the time and the money that she was investing in doing this was really helping her SEO. And so she was just shocked to find out that this money, she was spending money to do this thing, and time, her team's time to do this, she thought that it was really helping her SEO. And I had to look her square in the face and be like, nope, it's not helping at all. So if this is you, know that there are others out there who are absolute experts in their field. They're phenomenal entrepreneurs. They're just killing it on, maybe their podcast or their YouTube, but they're also making this mistake as well. So if you're making this mistake, don't feel horrible. All right. Now, the mistake is, are you ready for it? Ready? The mistake is posting the transcription of your podcast or YouTube video as a blog. Yes, that is a huge mistake. Killer to your SEO success. Why? Because I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, Faith, I'm posting fresh content and I'm posting the things and it uses the keywords, blah, 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 blah. Somebody somewhere told me that was helpful. I thought I would repurpose and work smarter. And all of those are reasons that I understand your reasoning. Okay. I understand your heart behind it. But posting the transcript of your podcast or your YouTube, slapping it up there and calling it a blog is wrong for so many reasons. But the three main reasons, the three things that are wrong with this as far as your SEO strategy goes and your marketing strategy is, number one, nobody wants to read your transcript. Nobody wants to read your transcript. God bless you and me for how much personality we put into our speaking. God bless us, myself included. But to listen to something and hear somebody's actual voice versus reading that word for word verbatim, even if you clean it up, gosh, nobody wants to read that. Like, just nobody wants to read your transcript. Bless you. I applaud your efforts, but nobody wants to read your transcript, okay? And so it's not serving anybody, right? And the ultimate purpose of our business as entrepreneurs is to serve people with our God-given gifts, to bless them, to bring glory to the kingdom of God, and to use what God has put in our hands and multiply it, right? Like, that's our ultimate goal. And so if your content is not serving people, then you're missing the point. And a transcript really isn't serving people. Now, I've heard the argument, well, what about the hearing impaired? Like, what about? Well, they probably have a transcription service that they prefer anyway. Okay. And there are closed captioning services that you can use on YouTube and on and on and on. And for the most part, so I actually asked somebody this question who she was very involved in the hearing impaired, the deaf community. She used to be a sign language interpreter. And I asked her, I was like, would posting the transcript serve that community? And she said no, because they don't have time to read that. Like, they're busy just like everybody else. That doesn't serve them. Giving them the whole transcript of everything you said, not helpful. So that made me feel a little bit better. But the number two reason that posting your transcript of your podcast or YouTube video and calling it a blog is Google is really not seeing that as valuable. So it's not helping. Google is not looking at, especially with the helpful content update, Google is not looking at this new post every week and saying, oh, that's super valuable, I'm going to bump them to the number one spot. No. Because a transcript is not written in an easy to understand way. It's not written in an SEO friendly way. It's not written in an easy to skim, easy to digest way. So Google is not seeing this content that you're slapping up there as valuable. So it's really not helping your SEO strategy. And then the number three thing wrong with this is that it's a lot of extra work for very little ROI. Very little ROI. Now, depending on the transcript service you're using, or the transcription service that you are using to transcribe your podcast or video, you could be spending anywhere from like $10, $20, $30, $40, even $50 per blog. Some of them are free, but there's usually a limit on that. And then you've got money out the door for this thing that's not even really helping somebody. And let me just say, personally, I would rather bang my head against this wall right here than go through and edit a transcript and make it into a good blog. Like, no, it's horribly painful to do that as a writer or as a content creator, to go through and edit a transcript and then turn that into a blog. Please just no. No, and no. Okay. So now that we've established that posting the transcript of your podcast or YouTube as a blog is a fatty no. We've established that, right? How do you fix it? All right. Ready for this? Well, I actually have a very simple 4-step process. And within my course, the Organic Marketing Framework, I actually have a bonus in there on how to repurpose a podcast for a blog the right way. But it would work just exact same process for a YouTube video if that's where your main form of long form content is. And I have a 4-step process I'm going to break down for you right here. So number 1, I want you to take your outline that you're using for your podcast or your YouTube video, because BT dubs, if you're not at least outlining generally, at least on a napkin, like at least a loose outline on a napkin, if you are not outlining your content, you are wasting people's time. Now, I say this with all the love in the world, because I have a minor in English and I loved writing. I've always loved writing. And one time with one of my teachers, I got real salty and I was like, I don't need to outline. I don't need to do that. I know what I'm going to say. And my teacher, knowing they're strong-willed student, they're like, fine, don't outline, write the essay, and then I'll grade the essay and you tell me how easy it was to write and I'll give you the grade. And I'm like, okay. So I was being real salty, wrote the thing without an outline, and it was so much harder, took so much longer to create this essay, and I got a worse grade on it too, if I remember correctly. So even if you are 100% certain what you're going to talk about, at least outline it to keep yourself on track. And then you can take that beautiful outline and you can use it to repurpose that awesome piece of content strategically onto your blog, okay? So I want you to take your outline, because you need an outline. And then step number 2, I want you to fill in the guts because just giving somebody your outline is not helpful. You need to elaborate on the outline. You need to elaborate on those things, those main points that you decided to hit in your content. Now, depending on your process, depending on your team, filling in the guts might look a little bit different for you than it does for somebody else. If you are somebody that you're still creating all of your long form content yourself, then I highly recommend filling in the guts of your outline immediately after you create the content, the unedited version of the podcast or the YouTube video, because you are going to remember very clearly what you just said. Okay. And then it won't take very long at all to just whip right out and like fill that in a little bit and make sure that it aligns with the other piece of content that you're trying to repurpose. Now, if you are somebody that you have a whole team of people working for you, like I've had my interns take my outlines and then fill in the guts based on the podcast content. If that's your process and that's your team, then that's great. They can fill in the guts there for you. But that outline has to be beefed up into a blog format, like outline in between an outline and an essay, right? Like it doesn't have to be a full-on essay, but it does need to have more depth than just an outline. And if you are very new to blogging, or the only blogs that you're familiar with are ones that you hate reading, probably because they're the recipe blogs that tell you their entire life story before they tell you how much butter you need or how many eggs you need. Yeah, I feel your frustration with that, trust me. But if you're somebody that like you're new to blogging, or the idea of blogging just makes you cringe, or you think that you'll hate it, then take a hot minute and go back and listen to episodes number 32 through 35. I have a whole bonus series on blogging. Episode number 51, I talk about how to use H1 and H2 text strategically in your blogs. And then episode number 75 and 76, I talk about like my exact blogging processes. And number 76, I talk about how much time blogging should actually take you or your team. And then number 77, I actually talk about what blogging should cost you or could cost you, so that you know if you're hiring it out or doing it internally, what are some realistic costs there. But if you're new to blogging, I want you to start off, or maybe you've been blogging for a while and you haven't seen any real return on the investment for your time. I want you to not get so frustrated with how you've been doing things and just try it a different way. Y'all, clients pay me to blog for them. I have a lot of experience here and I figured out some really great processes. And if you are somebody that you're like, please just tell me what to do, exactly what to do, then go grab the organic marketing framework, because I walk you through my exact process for blogging in there so that you don't have to figure it out on your own. It's like complete point and click. I screen share the exact way that I create blogs for myself and for clients, and create blogs that people actually want to read. and that generate traffic and leads. So there's 4-step process, right? You've got your outline and you're filling in the gut, and then you've filled in the guts, okay? And the next step, because we want this blog to be something that gets found, is to do keyword research. Because, my dear sweet friends, keywords and your SEO strategy is going to vary from platform to platform. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is. And the keywords that you can go for in your blog are going to be a different size than maybe the keywords that you can go for with your YouTube video or your podcast. So you have to dig in and actually do the keyword research. Now, it's no secret that I love Ubersuggest, but if you are not ready to buy the lifetime license to Ubersuggest, then go grab the free plugin for Google Chrome and find a keyword that fits your content, obviously, but that also is in the right keyword range and size for your business and your current SEO street cred on your website. And then make sure that you include that keyword in your title and your H2 text, and then throughout your text, throughout like the paragraph text. And step number 4 on how to fix this fatty problem is take that outline, take that keyword research, the keyword focus phrase that you're going to go for, and optimize your blog. Now, obviously, optimize your blog there's a lot to that statement, right? But the best starting place for optimizing your blog is to grab the free Yoast plugin. Now, I walk you through exactly how I use this inside of the organic marketing framework, but even just using the free Yoast plugin on your WordPress hosted blog is going to be, and following Yoast suggestions, right? You can't just like download it and not use it. You need to follow Yoast's suggestions most of the time. Even that is going to make a huge difference in your blogging, okay? So just to recap for my pals, the one killer SEO mistake that podcasters and YouTubers make for their website SEO is posting the transcription of their podcast or their video, slapping it up there and calling it a blog. Bless them. Bless y'all. And why? Why is that a mistake? Because nobody wants to read your transcript. Google's not seeing that as valuable, and it's a lot of extra work for very little ROI. So how do we fix it? You follow my 4-step process of taking your outline, because you need to be outlining, filling in the guts of your outline, doing keyword research for that blog, and then optimizing that blog. So if y'all need more help, feel free to book a coaching call or just grab the organic marketing framework where I lay out all of this for you. And I just pray that y'all have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and you're able to just sit with the Lord and get inspiration for your business and where He would have you go and the content that He would have you create to reach people and to serve people and to bring glory to His name. All right, chat with you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.